So, yeah, we are reading from chapter 9, and last week we have read so far how this confidential knowledge is, and then last week I think we started reading about Krishna's opulences, that he is mentioning that he is everything. So, first he mentioned that how long we want to go? That Mahatma, we couple of weeks ago we saw definitions of Mahatma. Who is Mahatma? So, one who takes shelter or ashray of Krishna's divine energy, and he is always bhajanti ananya manaso. अनन्य भावाने जो कृष्णाची भक्ती करतो तो आणि ज्ञात्वा भूतादिम अव्ययम, and knowing him that he is the avyaya, and he is also the original of all the and inexhaustible. He is the original person, and he is also avyaya or inexhaustible. And the qualities of Mahatma are given, that he is satatam kirtayantomam. He is always glorifying Krishna. He never loses any opportunity to talk about Krishna. So he is always glorifying Krishna. And yatantrascha drudavrata. He is always also with great determination. He is engaged in his service. नमस्यंतश्च माम भक्त, and he is offering him obeisances. नमस्कार करते कसा भक्तिपूर्वक. नमस्यंतश्च माम भक्त्या, and nitya yukta upasate. He is always engaged in worshipping him with devotion. Nitya. So these words, whenever he says that somebody is worshipping him, these words commonly come, if you have observed this. Nitya, satatam, ananya, ananya manaso. So these words you will see very often. So bhakti for Krishna is not something that one can do for short time or anything. This is the Bhagavad Gita, and he's teaching us that we should always be thinking of him and always engaged in his bhakti. Then he mentioned about other devotees who do not worship him directly, but they also indirectly worship him. And then what do they do? Jnana yagnena cha api anne. So somebody may be worshipping him by cultivation of knowledge. Jnana yajna. Yajante mam upasate, worshipping him. Some are worshipping him as ekatvena. Ekatvena means there are people who consider themselves as God, and they worship themselves, that God and they are same. They are not different. Pruthatvena or dvaitavad or bahuda, or in the different forms of different what we call demigods or devatas. So they worship different devatas, but indirectly they are worshipping Krishna himself. But they are worshipping indirectly because they do not have information or knowledge that Krishna is the supreme God. And sometimes Vishwato Mukham, in his universal form. But he again describing his vibhutis, though he said even though they are worshipping him in the form of a yajna or sacrifice, then he is actually he is everything. Aham kratur aham yajna swadaham aham aushadam. So he is the ritual of the yajna. He is yajna himself. Swadha means the offering that we offer in yajna, that is also him. Aushadam, the different types of herbs that are used for yajna performance, they are also him. Mantra is also him, all the mantras. Mantroham, aham evajyam, and the butter that is offered, that is also him. Agni is also him, and Hutam, the offering, is also him. So everything is him. When he says him, it is his energy or some or the other form, it is always him. So further, today we are going to start text 17, and all these verses actually, even though it says small things, but they have very deep meaning, and each word we can talk at length. So let's see how far we can get. So let's recite this verse. pitāham asya jagato
pitāmasya jagato
अहमस्य जगतो
mātā dhātā pitāmahaḥ
mātā
माता
dhātā
धाता
pitāmahaḥ
पितामहः
vedyaṁ pavitram oṁ-kāra
vedyaṁ
वेद्यं
pavitram
पवित्रम्
oṁ-kāra
ओङ्कार
ऋक् साम यजुरेव च.
रक्षाम यजुरेव च
पिताहमस्य जगतो
पिताहमस्य जगतो
जगतो
माता धाता पितामह
माता धाता पितामह
वेद्यं पवित्रम ओंकार
वेद्यं पवित्रम ओंकार
ऋक्साम यजुरेव च.
ऋक्साम यजुरेव च
We'll take a couple of recitations. Let's start with Chandrakant Prabhu.
पिताहमस्य जगतो
जगतो
माता धाता पितामह
पितामह
वेद्यं पवित्रम ओंकार
वेद्यं पवित्रम ओंकार
ऋक्साम यजुरेव च
ऋक्साम यजुरेव च. Thank you, Prabhu. Madhu Prabhu, you want to recite?
पिताहमस्य जगतो
पिताहमस्य जगतो
माता धाता पितामह
माता धाता पितामह
वेद्यं पवित्रम ओंकार
वेद्यं पवित्रम ओंकार
ऋक्साम यजुरेव च
ऋक्साम यजुरेव च.
Thank you, Prabhu. So the word for word meaning here is for each word. Pita means father. Aham. So Krishna is saying that he is I. Asya means of this. Jagataha means universe, the whole world. Mātā means mother. Dhātā means supporter. Pitāmahaḥ means grandfather. Vedyaṁ means the object of knowledge or what is to be known. Pavitram means that which purifies. Oṁ-kāra means the syllable Om. Rik means the Rig Veda. Sāma means the Sāma Veda. Yajur means the Yajur Veda. Eva means certainly. Cha means and. Translation, he is saying, I am the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier, the syllable Om. I am also Rig, the Sāma, and the Yajur Vedas. So he is claiming that he is everything, just like some similar verses what we saw in the chapter 7 when he started describing about how he is the supreme, that matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya, that there is no superior truth than me and everything rests on me as the pearls of a necklace rest on a thread. And then he started saying that rasoham sokaunteya prabhasmi shashisuryayo. So in the same manner he is saying that he is the father of everyone. So let's read the purport and then we'll discuss this a little bit. Kiran Prabhu, do you want to read the purport?
Yeah, sure, Prabhu. The entire cosmic manifestations, moving and non-moving, are manifested by different activities of Krishna energy. In the material existence, we create different relationships with different living entities who are nothing but Krishna's marginal energy. Under the creation of Prakriti, some of them appear as our father, mother, grandfather, creator, etc. But actually, they are parts and parcels of Krishna. As such, these living entities who appear to be our father, mother, etc. are nothing but Krishna. In this verse, the word dhātā means creator. Not only are our father and mother parts and parcels of Krishna, but the creator, grandmother, and grandfather, etc. are also Krishna. Actually, any living entity being part and parcel of Krishna is Krishna. All the Vedas therefore aim only toward Krishna. Whatever we want to know through the Vedas is but a progressive step toward understanding Krishna. That subject matter which helps us purify our constitutional position is specially Krishna. Similarly, the living entity who is inquisitive to understand all Vedic principles is also part and parcel of Krishna, and as such is also Krishna. In all the Vedic mantras, the word Om, called Pranava, is transcendental sound vibration and is also Krishna. And because in all the hymns of the four Vedas, Sāma, Yajur, Rigveda, and Atharva, the Pranava or oṁ-kāra is very prominent. It is understood to be Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. So, yeah, everything is Krishna. Means when it says everything is Krishna, everything is either Krishna and Krishna is energy. So this is, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu propagated, this philosophy is called Achintya Bheda Bhedatat. So everything is Krishna, but simultaneously it is not Krishna, because Krishna is still independent from his energy. But it is said that Shakti Shaktimato Abhinnam. So Shakti is his energy, and Shaktiman, he is Shaktiman. He is the source of that energy. But still, just like sun globe is separate, and sun rays which are providing energy to the whole universe, they are different, but they can also be called as sun. They are, because they are part of sun. So in the same manner, even though Krishna says that everything is resting on me, and that's why it is also me, but it is the indirect process if we accept to worship that. Just like uh, a crude example, maybe a magistrate, a judge, and in the same office, a janitor, they may be, both are government employees. But that doesn't mean that even though the janitor or a clerk can say that I am also government employee, and the judge or magistrate is also government employee, but they are not at the equal level. The judge is based on his service or based on his qualification. He is at a different level. In the same manner, when somebody is worshipping other demigod, or somebody is worshipping Brahman level, understanding that this whole creation is God himself, and somebody is worshipping Krishna directly by bhakti, those are completely at different level. And just like for any process, there are certain rules and regulations that are given. In the same way, there are rules and regulations given for worshipping Krishna. So here, let's go through one by one what he's saying. So he says first, pitāham asya jagato. So he says, because he is the seed giving father, he claims so many different times that he is the seed giving father, because he is the original source of every spiritual spark in this, or even in the spiritual world. So just like mother and father here, so father gives the seed for the child, and mother creates the body when she receives that seed. So in the same manner, the mother here is Prakriti, or material nature, which gives us the material body in this material world. But the spiritual spark, because of the presence of that spiritual spark, this material body grows, is given by Krishna. Krishna says that in the 14th chapter, we'll read that Sarva Bhuteshu, Bijoham Sarva Bhutanam. He said it already in the 7th chapter. Or Sarva Yonishu Kauntaya Murtaya Sambhavantiya Tasam Brahma Mahad Yonir Aham Bija Pradapita. He claims that Aham Bija Pradapata. So he's the one who is giving that seed in the form of a spiritual spark. Without presence of that spiritual seed, the body does not develop. And the same thing, even if then that spiritual spark leaves this body starts decaying. It doesn't grow anymore. It doesn't even sustain. It loses consciousness, because consciousness is the symptom of the soul or spiritual spark. So that's how he claims that pitāham asya jagato. Then he also claims mātā. Then how is he mātā then? So just like we saw in the 7th chapter, right? He claimed that he has two energies, two different types of energies. One is material energy and one is spiritual energy. So spiritual spark is the seed, that the spirit soul that is living here, and the material energy is, he divides those into further 8 categories. Ashtada, bhumirapo nalo vayu khammano buddhirevacha. These are 8 my separated material energies, he says. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. And this material energy is required for this material body to be created. This material body, we will learn in the 13th chapter, is made up of 24 elements. So which includes these 8 elements plus the avyakta. So all this is required even for creation of this material body, that is nothing but Krishna's energy. This Prakriti, which is giving us material body, is also Krishna's energy. So in a way, that is also Krishna. So that's why he says that he is also mātā. He is also saying that he is dhātā, means the supporter, because without his support, without his energy, nothing can sustain here. Nothing can even exist without his creation. So that's why he's dhātā. In the same manner, we all come for Brahma. So actually, there are different words. He is also called Pita. He is also called Pitāmahaḥ here. And then in 11th chapter, Arjuna also addresses him as pitāmahaḥ. So Pitāmahaḥ, because we all come from Brahmaji, and Brahmaji's father is Krishna. So he is Pitāmahaḥ. But in different gradation, he is called in different ways. Because Brahmaji is also considered as our pitāmahaḥ, and then Krishna, being his father, is called pitāmahaḥ, great grandfather. And also he is the one who is to be known. So everything, all our effort for living in this life should be directed towards knowing who is God. So vedyaṁ. So vedyaṁ means he is also the object of knowledge. He is the one that one should be endeavoring his effort to know him. Otherwise, we are just wasting our life. Because this material enjoyment or anything, all the karmic reactions, what we are accumulating, they are entangling us in this material creation. Birth after birth after birth. We are not getting anywhere. So unless somebody knows, tries to find out what is the purpose of my life, and that's what he's saying, that what is to be known. So he is the one that is to be known, and that is the prerogative what we have in this human form of life. Unfortunately, the other living entities do not even have that consciousness, or they do not even have that intelligence. What is the goal of their life? They are just living, and they are just living like they are fulfilling the 4 principles of living entities: ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithunam cha. So they are just eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. And if we also engage in the same things, then we are nothing but animal. That's what Mahabharata says. So vedyaṁ, so he is our object of knowledge. He is the one that is to be known. He also says in the 15th chapter that sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedyam. That the purpose of all the Veda literally means knowledge. And the purpose of all that knowledge one can gain in this material world is actually to know him. Vedaischa sarvair aham eva vedyam. Just to know him. And then he himself is pure, and he is the purifier. Whenever somebody comes in contact with him, his purification starts immediately. It's said actually in the Shastra that even if somebody chants name Krishna once, it eradicates all the sins he cannot even commit in one lifetime. Just even reciting or chanting Krishna's name once. So he is the most purest person, and he is also that purifies everything that comes in contact with him. And then he is the syllable Om. This comes several places in Bhagavad Gita. oṁ-kāra. So here also he says that I am oṁ-kāra. In 7th chapter also he mentioned that pranava sarva vedeshu, that of all the Vedas, the oṁ-kāra sound comes with many mantras. And that Om, he says that I am pranava. So that syllable Om, Krishna is here also saying he is here, and he is also the Vedas. He is the knowledge. Rig Veda, Sāma Veda, Yajur Veda, Veda. Everything is Krishna. So that's what he's claiming here. In the purport, Prabhupada mentions the same thing, that Prakriti, everything happens under the laws of nature, and this it is governed by laws of nature. But that nature is working under guidance of Krishna. He said in the 10th verse of this chapter, we read that already. Maya dhakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. That Prakriti is working under my adhyakshata. Maya dhakshena. So, and we also read about there are 3 different types of energy, right? So we are his marginal energy, or also in Sanskrit called tatastha shakti. So even though broadly his energies are categorized in 2, that is the spiritual energy and the material energy, but spiritual energy because it is a minute spark, it has a tendency that it may fall down into this material pole. And whenever it falls in this material pool and gets a material body and is struggling, then that is called marginal energy. It is also spiritual, but because it is under control of Maya, under control of material energy, then that's why it is called marginal energy or tatastha shakti. Our example it is given in the Shastra is just like when we sit on the bank of an ocean. So there is some area where the waves come to the beach. So when the waves come, that area is under the water. But when waves go back in low tide and high tide, in the low tide, then that is considered as land. So the marginal energy is like that. It's sometimes it's in the spiritual understanding, or sometimes it is in the material understanding. So because it has that type of tendency to fall down, it is called marginal potency or tatastha shakti. So we are that marginal energy or tatastha shakti. And under the creation of Prakriti, we appear to have different father, mother, grandfather, creator, everything. We appear to be created in this material world, but we are actually eternal. What we see is nothing but transformation from one body to another body. It's just soul getting transmigrated from one body to another body and suffering the reactions of the karma he has accumulated. But there is no father here. The material father here is just a cause so that we can get certain type of body based on the reactions or the karma what we have accumulated. So that's why we get birth and death here, and that this cycle has been going on time immemorial, eternally. But actually we and even our father, mother, everybody is actually part and parcel of Krishna. He says in the 15th chapter, 7th verse, that these, what is the verse, Sonu Prabhu? Everybody, karshati. Mamai vansho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Please recite, yeah.
Prakriti sthani karshati.
Prakriti sthani karshati. Mameva amsho, that everybody is my amsha. So everybody is part and parcel of Krishna. Mamai vamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. So jiva, all these living entities, they are my parts and parcels, irrespective what relations they are, whatever form they are in different types of body, dog, cat, fish, tree, human being, devata, it doesn't matter. He says that they are my parts and parcels. Mamai vansho jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatana, these jiva bhuta, and they are also eternal, they are sanatana. It's just our misconception that we are getting birth and death, but we are not actually, we are just changing our body. But we are also eternal. Mana shashtani indriyani prakritisthani karshati. And they are karshati. Karshati means suffering. They are experiencing distress in this material world with 6 senses, including the mind, mana, and the other 5 senses. Because of these senses, they are interacting with this material energy, and because of them, that they are karshati, they are suffering. So everyone here is part and parcel of Krishna. So because we are part and parcel of Krishna, in a way we are also Krishna, but we are not, that does not make us God, because even though qualitatively we are like Krishna, we are eternal, we are spiritual being, and we have all the qualities that Krishna has, but quantitatively we are Anu, like a very small minute particle, and Krishna is infinite, Vibhu. So the particle, even though it has all the similar qualities like Krishna, but the potency of it to do certain things, he does not have like Krishna. And unless they are dependent or they connect themselves with Krishna, they will not be happy. That's why we are suffering here. That's why Prakriti Sthani Karshati. Unless until we develop that relationship, re-establish that relationship with Krishna and engage in his service, we will always be suffering. That's why this place is called Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. And that's the whole purpose actually. Krishna is trying to give us this Bhagavad Gita. That is the instruction, core instruction of Bhagavad Gita. So, and dhātā, again, dhātā means creator or sustainer. He is the one who is supporting everything. He is the one who has created everything. So he is also dhātā. So, and that's what the overall gist of this verse is actually. And then he claims everything. The Vedic mantras, Om is also Pranava. That is also Krishna. The sound vibration is Krishna. And because in all hymns of the Vedas, Sāma Veda, Yajur Veda, Rig Veda, and Atharva Veda, the Pranava is oṁ-kāra is very prominent. And it is said that he is also Krishna. So Krishna and oṁ-kāra are non-different. But if one chants oṁ-kāra without that understanding, then it has less effect than he understands that he is Krishna himself. So that's the difference. So I will stop there and we can get some reflections or Q&A.
प्रभुजी ते चारही वेद एकत्र होते याच्यात अथर्ववेद कसा मिसिंग आहे पण एनी रिझन
श्लोकामध्ये तो मिसिंग आहे. Actually it is said that the beginning of the Veda there was only one Veda, and that was Atharva Veda. But over a period of time, Vyasadeva saw before Kali Yuga actually that people in the Kali Yuga will be less intelligent and they will have less memory, less understanding ability. So that's why he divided one Veda into 4 Vedas, and that's why that there are sometimes 3 mentioned, and you will also read actually after a few verses, Traividya. So one who is the study of 3 Vedas. So Traividya is including Atharva actually. So that is Atharva is also included in that. That's what Prabhupada mentions in Atharva Veda there. But originally there was one Veda, Atharva Veda, and then he divided into 4.
I see.
In continuation to this, what is there in the Vedas, different Vedas actually? What they teach us?
So Sāma Veda is, I'll tell you what I remember. So Sāma Veda is all the Vedic hymns. Vedic hymns
Very-
means different songs glorifying Krishna and his potencies and everything. All the devatas singing.
Okay.
So that's why Krishna is also called Uttama Shloka. Uttama Shloka means he is glorified by best of the shlokas. So that's why one of his name is Uttama Shloka. And that's why Sāma Veda is said to be very sweet, melodious, and beautiful. So actually in the 10th chapter, we'll see that Vedanam Sāma Vedosmi. So among the Vedas, Krishna says that what is best in everything, that's me. So out of all the Vedas, Sāma Veda is considered as very melodious and beautiful, and it has the songs glorifying Krishna and his pastimes and his. So Sāma Veda is that. Yajur Veda is defining many Upanishads, and it is glorifying the Brahman realization and so on. बाकी दोन मला पण नाही माहिती. ऋग्वेदा mantras are there. I know some of them, but I don't know individual differences. Maybe in the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, fifth chapter has some details about the Vedas. Let me see if I can find. If not, I'll send something. So in the fifth chapter, Narada Muni instructs Vyasadeva, and Mahabharata is called Itihasa, and it is also called as Panchama Veda. Let me see if I can find. And every Veda, so when Vyasadeva wrote all the Vedas, he assigned one of his disciple to be the teacher of that Veda. So those are also given. Okay, let me see. And then even after giving or dividing these Vedas and writing all the Puranas and all, even the Mahabharata, he was not satisfied in heart. And that's where he was he was contemplating on all those. And then he was very morose, Vyasadeva. And that's where Narada Muni asked him to write Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, because he said that even though you have divided all the Vedas and wrote all the commentaries on the Vedanta Sutra, but here in the fourth chapter actually. But you have not directly glorified the Bhagavan himself, that is Krishna. And most of the sections of Vedas are Karma Kanda section. So Vedas are mainly divided into three sections: Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, and Upasana Kanda. So Karma Kanda is the largest portion of it, then Jnana Kanda, and then Upasana Kanda. So Karma Kanda is basically you do worship of this and you will get this. You do form these rules and regulations and you will get result of this. So Karma. So all the karmis, they work very hard according to following rules and regulations in the Vedas to get some result, material results. And the ultimate result that they can think of is Swarga Prapti. Then Jnana Kanda, it goes a little bit beyond that they realize, the Jnanis, they realize that this material world is mithya, Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya. And then they lose the taste of this all karmic reactions or any material enjoyment, and they want liberation. But liberation also, their concept of liberation goes only up to the point that I want to get free from this material entanglement. But they do not have understanding of Bhagavan. They don't know who God is and what is their duty for God. What is their relationship with God. So just because they want to get free from this, there are some rituals given in the Jnana Kanda section of Vedas. So where they perform that and they get liberation, so-called liberation, and they merge into the Brahman. But Upasana Kanda is also Upasana of different devatas and Upasana of Krishna. So people who wants to get some material benefits, they do Upasana of the other devatas, and one who is actually knows Bhagwan is the supreme or the highest realization of God or the supreme absolute truth, then they starts worshipping Krishna. And for them, they don't want anything because they are considered to be all Jivan Mukta, or they are already liberated. So here, this is what I was remembering. So he said that after the Vedas were divided into 4 divisions, so he made Paila Rishi become professor of Rig Veda, Jaimini of Sāma Veda, Vaishampayan become of Yajur Veda, and so on and so forth. So here, I think in the purport somewhere, Prabhupada has given little bit description of what is in the Vedas. But I, to be honest, do not remember everything, except for Samaveda being special, that glorifies the
Okay.
Krishna. That I know.
No, I was thinking Veda means now you are telling Samveda is glorification of Krishna and other deities also. Shloka.
They are
Like
beautiful songs, it is said,
in Samveda.
in Samaveda.
Remaining Vedas means like individual Veda will be for a particular subject, it will be their
Yes,
details of knowledge. Like
they have
this.
sections, and according to that, these Vedas are divided.
Mhm.
They have
So,
its own specific section or category, I would say.
mhm. Okay.
So, no, that's anything, Prabhuji's, or it's 10:26 here now.
But Veda is not history, right? It is not in ancient history, correct?
It can be considered as history because Veda literally means knowledge. Veda, it comes from Sanskrit root vid. Vid means knowledge. And from those many words come vidya or vidyarthi or vidvan. One who has knowledge is called vidvan, or Veda itself is knowledge, or vidyalaya. All this comes from that. So Veda is knowledge, but it also gives different historic pastimes, and it is actually in Vedic aphorisms. They are like what do I can say zip files. So Vedanta Sutra, so Janmadhyasya yataha, or Athato Brahma Jignasa, or Anandamayobhyasat. So these are the aphorisms which, like a very small aphorism, it may seem very small, but it has very deep meaning of it. We can write volumes of books on this. And for that, just like for zip file, which may be a small file, but when you extract, it has lots of contents in it. But it needs a specific tool to extract the zip file. In the same manner, we need specific understanding and knowledge to understand that Vedanta Sutra. The very first aphorism, I think it's said to be Athato Brahma Jignasa. So how can it be first? Because it says it begins with Atha. So Atha means therefore. So therefore means something must have happened before, right? That's why you are saying now, therefore now. And it is also said first. So the meaning is Atha Ato Brahma Jignasa. Now you have got this human form of life, so you should engage this life in knowing what is Brahman. Brahma Jignasa. You should be inquiring about Brahma, because that is possible only in human form of life. Stop living like an animal and then inquire about what is Brahman. So that is the aphorism one. But it is actually this, I just told you the gist of it, but it can go much detail. Or even Srimad Bhagavatam starts with another Vedic aphorism, Janmadhyasya yataha. The very first shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam is Janmadasya yatonvayati taratas chartheshu abhignaswarat. Tene brahmardaya adikavaye muhyanti yat suraya. So, Janmadi yasyata. Janmadi yasyataha means the very first shloka is that. So here. So that's the another Vedic aphorism. So it states like it is now going to start with description of somebody, the great personality from whom Janma means creation, Adi means both sustenance and maintenance is made possible. Janma Adiyasya Yataha, from whom it all originated. So that's where it starts. So Srimad Bhagavatam is all about the Supreme Bhagavan himself. So that Janma, where is it? Yeah, Janmadi, creation, sustenance and destruction. Asya means of this material manifested universes. All the material universes of this creation, sustenance and maintenance, from whom it comes. So Bhagavatam is the glorification, or it talks about Janmadyasyataha. So these are just some glimpses of so that's why was a need, because in Kali Yuga it is very difficult for people to understand this, that's why there was a need for writing Mahabharata in a story format, in a Gramya Bhasha. And that's why Mahabharata is called Panchama Veda or Itihasa. And same thing about different Puranas. So Puranas, there are 18 Puranas, 18 Purana, and they are all considered to be in different modes of nature. So there are 6 Puranas for people in the mode of ignorance or tamogun. There are 6 Puranas for people in the mode of rajogun, or what is called passion, mode of passion, or rajogun, and then the remaining 6 are in satogun or sattvic Puranas. And out of those sattvic Puranas, the epitome or the shiromani or the highest transcendental Purana completely on Shuddha Sattvam is Srimad Bhagavatam. So these are all more details, and Puranas give us all the description of, again, in the story format. They are all question answers, conversations, just like we are reading here in the Bhagavad Gita, is question answer between Arjuna and Krishna, where Arjuna is submissively asking questions and Krishna is answering all those questions. In the same manner, all the other scriptures, these Puranas or Mahabharata is also similarly question answer between Vaishampayan Muni and Janamejaya. Janamejaya is son of Parikshit, or great grandson of Pandavas. So all these are conversations. So little more details about the scriptures.
ते जन्मेजयवरनं आठवलं, ते जय नावाचा इतिहास आनंद साधलेंचं पुस्तक आहे.
Okay.
हा एक फेमस आहे बुक, ते याच्यावरच आहे, जय नावाचा इतिहास म्हणून असं. आणि तेच म्हणजे एक महाभारताचा एक वेगळा हे डिटेल दिलेले आहेत, म्हणजे महाभारत कसं लिहिलं, काय झालं, आणि बरंच काय काय, म्हणजे असं एक आपण जे रेग्युलर महाभारत ऐकतो तेच, पण थोडस एक वेगळं अँगल त्याला, एक असं एक हे आहे. ओके.
Okay. So I think it's time then we can start our chanting. From last week we started our japa.
Yes.
So we can, I'm a little late actually, but those good questions I didn't want to, I just wanted to share whatever I can share about those. So I will stop sharing as well as stop recording.